North Carolina preschool uses LGBT flashcards depicting a pregnant man to teach kids colors. Hey, look, this man is pregnant. Oh, and that's a white flashcard. That's literally what we're doing in North Carolina. That's what we're talking about today. So many things to talk about here on this one. Because men being pregnant typically isn't a reasonable concept. And yet we've got flashcards and they're being used in school. Okay, let's jump on in. Before we do, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sean Reynolds. I own a couple of real estate companies. I read news for reasonable people. It's just what we're doing. All right. A state representative was alerted to the LGBT themed flashcards for preschoolers by a concerned parent. Imagine being a parent going, okay, what's this? Wait a minute. Is that a dude? That's a dude with an extended belly. Normally I could just go with, all right, the guy's fat, right? He's fat. He's obese. He's got that big beer belly. He's put way too many Bud Lights down, right? Way too many Bud Lights, big extended belly. But no, what we've got, and before we jump on in, let's take a look at the flashcard. Okay, I'll describe it to you. It says white at the top. Background is white. All right. And we've got a woman with dark hair reaching around and grabbing her significant other. It may be a husband. It may be a boyfriend. It may be a wife. We're not sure because, there are so many pronouns now that we can go with. We don't know what the situation is, but the woman is clearly reaching around and grabbing her significant other around the waist, because it's too far to reach around the belly, right? One of those shots. The man, typically the husband, is standing behind his wife, who is typically a female, because that's how human anatomy works. In this case, it's the wife reaching around, and she can't get her hands all the way around the tummy because he's got a baby in there. A man's got a baby in there. And he is also, what the flashcard is saying is white. These are the most Latino looking white people of all time. If I didn't know any better, I would say, no, that's not white. People aren't white, but this is a color. This is a color exercise here, right? So the guy is holding his hands underneath his belly, not to support his years of, just exemplary beer drinking, but because he's got a human life in there, because he's a man and he's got the reproductive organs to pull this off. No. Yeah, that is literally the flashcard that we're looking at. Somebody sat down and drew this. Somebody said, okay, we're going to take a normal looking dude. We're going to turn him to the side. We're going to give him a big belly. He's going to be reaching under there, supporting his, that new life that he's bringing into the world. Wait a minute. It's a man. It's a man. Okay. We're still going to go with it. We're still going to go with that storyline because, inclusivity, we don't want to exclude anybody. And the wife is going to be so happy because she gave him the baby. How did he get pregnant? Who impregnated him? So I'm 53 and I have questions. What do you think a preschooler is going to do? Mommy, can men have babies? No. Why? Well, flashcard at school. What? Are you serious? Your kids just say stuff and you're like, that makes no sense at all. That's literally what you'd say to this one. But in today's day and age, all right, get in the car, little Jimmy. We're going to school. Show me this flashcard. We need to get to the bottom of this. And that's what some parent did. That's what some parent was forced to do. Wild, right? All right, let's just take a quick peek at this storyline. A North Carolina preschool used flashcards featuring LGBT themes to teach kids colors, including one that depicted a pregnant man. Why are we going down this road of trying to kid ourselves that men can have babies? That would just be a train wreck, wouldn't it? Just the whole concept is just so wildly sideways, and it just can't happen. It doesn't happen. That's not how biology works. Schools should only be using age-appropriate materials, and these flashcards clearly do not meet that standard for a preschool classroom. Republican State Representative Erin Paré said in a statement after being alerted to the cards. by a constituent, according to North Carolina Speaker of the House, Tim Moore. It's not that they're age inappropriate. The flashcards are just flat biologically wrong. They're just wrong. So maybe don't teach your stuff, kids at school, that we know is wrong. How about that? Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we look at that? Oh, we want to be inclusive and we don't want people to feel left out. Well, yeah, there's some things that, you just got to kind of go with. And that's, men impregnate women and then women have the babies. As far as I know, and from my personal experience, that has been how life has worked. If we've got something else going on here where somebody else can impregnate a man and he's going to have the baby, let me know. Send me a text, send me an email. Let me know how that goes. But as far as I know, that's this is silliness, right? We're kidding ourselves that this is silliness. Paré said a concerned constituent emailed her about the cards that were being used to teach preschoolers colors at Ballantyne Elementary School in Wake County, North Carolina. Paré then contacted the principal of the elementary school in an attempt to verify the use of the cards in class, with the principal taking swift action to investigate the constituent's claims. The principal was able to locate the cards in the classroom and verify with the teacher that they've been used to teach colors. Why are we entering this in to teach colors? There are, anything else could be colored white, right? I mean, just lots of things show the color of white. It just does. And what's interesting is the people that you had on there, they weren't white. They were Hispanic looking. They were Latino looking. They were not white looking. I digress, though. I mean, this whole storyline is just riddled with inaccuracies, which the principal said was approved curriculum at the school. Flashcards showing colors, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. But then you try and throw in this little zinger. Oh, yeah, and men can have babies, too. I mean, that's the part to me. I'm like, all right, no, we got a little disconnect from reality here. We got just a scooch of a disconnect. Trying to kid ourselves that we can do all these different things. And, well, I identify as that, therefore I am. Well, you might identify as that, but you're not. You're not. And we're not trying to, hammer on you. We're not trying to make you feel bad, but there's a few things in life that are just rules. And, we really can't really get around those. We try and kid ourselves that we can, but men having babies is one of those. It's just a thing. Yeah. I mean, try teaching that to a kid. All right. So how is the man going to have a baby? Well, all right. Yeah. Go ask your mom. Go ask your mom. You ever do that one? Of course you did. If you're a man, and if you're a mom, you're like, you know what? This is when your dad might want to take over. He's really good at this type of topic. Men having babies. Honey, could you cover this one? Right? All right. The principal took possession of the cards and alerted the district superintendent and human resources about the incident, which she said was unaware of being alerted to the situation by Paré. It's probably some teacher's aide, right? Was it the teacher? I don't know. You bring that kind of crap into a classroom, you deserve to lose your job. They probably won't. They'll probably get a recommendation. They'll probably get, yeah. I'm grateful that a concerned constituent reached out and that this issue is being addressed in a swift and professional manner by Ballantyne Elementary School. And then some jackass in Seattle is going to podcast it because it's so ridiculous. It's literally what's going on, right? The incident comes amid an effort in the North Carolina General Assembly to pass legislation aimed at giving parents more control over what their children are taught in school, including giving them the option to opt out of what they consider age-inappropriate classroom materials. How about classroom materials that are just teaching kids biology that is wildly inaccurate? What about that? Yeah, there's that, right? Yeah. No, little Jimmy, north isn't that way. It's the other way. But my compass says, yeah, I know, but we're into a new reality and north is the other way. Okay, but my Boy Scout leaders, Jimmy, don't argue with me on this one. It's that way. All right. What are we even doing here? No, men can have babies. They can have babies. They just got to push real hard. Make that happen. Wild. In the meantime, Paré said the situation, schools across the state should use the response of 𝐏𝐞𝐸 Elementary as an example. Yeah, we're only trying to do age appropriate. What about truth appropriate? What about reasonable appropriate? What about just getting your information right? I don't know. There's that, right? I hope schools across Wake County and the state of North Carolina will follow the example of 𝐏𝐿 and respond swiftly when a parent expresses concern and ensure that materials like this are not being used to teach young students. Okay, I agree. That should happen. Who made the flashcard? I need to know that. What person in their right? Oh yeah, a man can have a baby. We don't want people to feel left out. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you want women to start getting prostate exams as well? Maybe we should do that. All right. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, there's a lot of different things that, we could interchange and try and kid ourselves, but that's probably, how about women getting a vasectomy? What about that? Can they have that done? I dare you. I mean, I double dog dare you on that one. What does that look like? I don't even want to know. We're not even going to go down that road because it's so ridiculous, right? It's so preposterous. And yet we've got some artist out there. I want everybody to feel really good about themselves. And so I'm going to draw this picture. And I know it's a little outside the box of reality, but you can imagine, kids learn stuff. And they're like, remember back in preschool, and they're showing us colors. And you had that man on there and he was pregnant and just never really worked that one out. I mean, some kid in therapy is going to have that. He's going to be like, yeah, but in school, this is what I learned. Kids are impressionable, but they also kind of know what the real deal is. So to have to work with this in a classroom setting, school's hard enough as it is, right? I mean, all right, all these other kids are learning stuff and I'm just not catching on. You ever get that feeling? And then you're like, all right, but a man having a baby, I'm really confused now. Really? Maybe you just got the birds and the bees talk, that really early version one. You're like, okay, but the man's, okay. Whew, yeah. Apparently I did not get that birds and bees talk correct. I didn't really understand because look at what they're showing. So many objections to stuff like this, right? Yeah, it's crazy. I just had to read this one. I mean, what are we even doing? I don't know. We're talking about it though. That's what we got to do. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up soon. Talk then. Bye for now.